Okay, page 12, Danny boy. There's a trickiness going on in here. Your hands are moving around a little more and you're spreading out and you're contracting and a little bit of that. The finger numbers are fine, so just do what they're telling you to do in the music and you'll be okay. I'll point out a few tricky spots. All right, let's start on page 12, the last two measures in the right hand. I'll talk right hand first here. You're starting out in C position in the piece, so you're going to play the E on the third measure with the third finger. Then you got to reach up to get the A with the little finger, okay? And immediately the rest of the hand goes up. After you play it, the rest of the hand goes up because you need the fourth finger on the G. Now reach down with the third finger to get the E, and then you're back in C position. This happens occasionally here, so just be aware it does happen. It's okay, you can do that. In the second line, you're going to extend out and let the index finger play the E. So you're in this position, and that's fine. Until the last E there on the next to the last measure of the second line is a 3. On page 13, second line, let's take a look at the last two measures. You're in this position, started in this position. The A, the last note in the third measure, your third finger's on it, but they want you to use your fourth finger, so come down a little bit. Just contract and put your A on it. Then last measure is 3, 2 on the E, and thumb on the C, okay? And then you're back up here for the next line. Then on the third line down, last two measures. For the second measure, the fourth finger played the B, but in the next measure, immediately the fifth finger is going to play it. So, this sort of thing, to put you in position. That's about it. Trickiness-wise, that's about, that'll get you through. The left hand, you just follow the notes. There's not really a lot going on in the left hand. Keep it soft, okay? I will point out over on page 13, the fourth line down, the first note is staccato, a little wrist staccato. And then those 3 G's are melody, so you have to play them like melody. Right? So you play those a little louder. Anytime the left hand's got melody, you got to bring it out a little more. And it does occasionally. You'll see it because when the left hand's playing by itself, there'll be words over it, and that'll tell you right there it's melody. At the end, at the bottom of page 13, there is what they call a fermata. Well, that's what it's known as. It's called a fermata, okay? You hold it longer. Fermata just means you hold longer. Be careful with the word pause, because a pause can mean silence. You're pausing silently. Well, here you're pausing, but you're holding it long. You're just holding it longer. All right. How longer? I don't know. It's a feel thing. You have to decide how long do you want to hold it. Okay. When I'm playing with a metronome, I just double the value. So since it's a quarter note, gets 1 count, I'm going to hold it for 2 counts, and then I'm going to quit. Right above the measure there, you see an RIT period there at the end. RIT stands for retardando, means slow down. So you're playing the last couple measures or whatever they are, you're here. Then you slow down. Okay, and then you hold it. That's what that's for. When I'm playing with a metronome, I don't retardando, because the metronome don't retardando. So we just keep going. Over on page 12, first line, they have notes there, getting louder, getting softer. Those little sideways arrows, I call them hairpins. Yeah, the first one that starts at a point and the lines get further apart means get louder. As the lines get further apart, you get louder. And then when it starts with the lines apart, comes together to a point, then you're starting the louder part and you're getting softer down to the point, and that's all that is. It's not a lot louder. It's a feel thing. They don't tell you how much louder to get, so it's a feel thing. You're soft, so it's a, I don't, it's, where, I didn't hear them. to experiment. You make it get louder and then you bring it back down. Okay, and you get those throughout this piece, so you can experiment with those. When we play it together, I'm going to play it all about the same because I'm more interested in you hearing the notes. I'm not trying to perform it. You can find recordings of this. You can have fun with this yourself. Try and do the phrasing as best you can. A lot of times in this piece, the rests help you out. Okay, because there's a rest between the phrasing. Sometimes they don't. Now, I don't agree with the phrasing because I don't like splitting up a sentence. To me, a sentence, in most cases, is just one long phrase. And the way they've written this arrangement, it's not that way here. So you'll have to deal with the phrasing as best you can. You know, if you look at the top of page 13, that first line, it's you, and then it starts a new phrase, but it's the same sentence, you must go. I would connect all of that in one phrase. I wouldn't. And then start a new phrase. And the second line, to me, that's all one phrase in there. See? Third line, to me, that's all one phrase. They've got them split up into two phrases, and I disagree with that. I think it should be one phrase. So I would suggest you go through on your phrasing and follow the sentences and the words. And we don't want a lot of short little phrases because that's choppy. Ugh. So you can work that out. Different people will play it differently. They'll interpret it differently, and they'll do the phrasing differently, obviously. So you have to work it out. What do you think? What do you like? Let's try this out. It's got a 3-note pickup, right? Because it's common timer 4/4. There's only 3 notes and 3 beats in the first measure. So I'm going to give us 4 + 1, and then we'll play it together. No 8th notes, so I'm going to leave the metronome on 70. I hope we can handle that. You're starting out, I believe, middle C position, but you're not staying there very long. Carefully hold the notes down to the correct value. Try it one hand at a time until you're comfortable with that. It really is important. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. 1, 2. 1, 2, off.